Hey, how's it going everyone? Happy New Year. It's Ernest from TripAstute. In this video, we're going to be exploring the CLEAR program and why you may or may not want to get it. Hope you all are having a great start to the new year. We actually spent the weekend and New Year's in Sedona, Arizona, which is one of our favorite places. We go there every year in January, and for the first time, it snowed during our visit. It was a really cool experience, and I'm planning to do a video on Sedona in case you're interested in visiting the area. On our way back from Sedona, we flew through Phoenix, and I happened to notice a person entering the CLEAR line. I had heard of the program, but to be honest, it never really caught my attention since I already have global entry, which includes TSA PreCheck. However, after seeing someone actually use the service, I thought I'd do a video on it and also weigh in on whether I think it's worth the cost. Before we get started, if you're new here, welcome to our channel. TripAstute is a travel channel that is focused on sharing ways to make travel easier, affordable, and more enjoyable. Traveling can be stressful and expensive, so we're looking for ways to help you maximize your experience through travel tips, points and miles, and innovative gear. If that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing. If you've never heard of CLEAR, you're not alone. It's available in about 40 locations, so it's possible that you may not have seen it or even been aware that it exists. CLEAR is a private service that is not managed by TSA or Homeland Security, though you'll often see the line next to the TSA PreCheck line, which makes it really confusing. CLEAR allows you to get past the initial checkpoint where the TSA agent checks your ID and boarding pass. What happens with CLEAR is that you'll scan your boarding pass and then verify your identity using some kind of biometric. Typically that means your fingerprints and in some cases your irises. Once you're enrolled, you technically can pass the domestic US security checkpoints that have CLEAR without carrying any form of ID, though I totally would not recommend that. What I didn't realize until I did some research on it is that you still have to go through the normal baggage and metal screening. CLEAR doesn't replace that process. In fact, once you use CLEAR to verify your identity, you'll either be placed in the normal baggage screening area or the TSA PreCheck area if you're enrolled in the program. So CLEAR really isn't a replacement for one of these programs. It just helps you get through that initial security ID check. Enrolling in the CLEAR program is easy. All you have to do is talk to a CLEAR representative. You'll see them hanging out near the kiosks to see if you want to enroll. The process takes about 5 minutes and does involve scanning your irises and fingerprints. You can also start the process online and finalize the enrollment when you visit the kiosk. The cost is $179 for the program per year, which is fairly pricey. The program allows you to add 3 additional adults for $50 extra per person. Children under the age of 18 can also be enrolled for free. However, if you happen to be a Delta SkyMiles member, you can actually get some significant discounts. Even general SkyMiles members without any status only pay $99 for the service. Since it doesn't cost anything to join Delta's SkyMiles program, it doesn't make sense to pay $179 for the service when all you have to do is join Delta's loyalty program to get the $99 pricing. So, what are my thoughts on the service? Well, it's definitely not a replacement for TSA PreCheck, but more of an add-on. I can understand the appeal of being able to bypass the initial ID check using CLEAR, especially if you're a road warrior who's constantly traveling during peak hours. TSA PreCheck used to be a very exclusive program, but like the Priority Pass program, a lot of people have enrolled in the service. This means that the lines can be fairly long, especially during peak travel hours like Monday morning and Thursday evening. For folks who regularly face long lines, even with TSA PreCheck, I think it might be worthwhile. For me, I don't think I would gain much value from the service. I'm not traveling much for work, so the extra few minutes in line doesn't bother me as much. Plus, TSA PreCheck is $85 for 5 years. CLEAR, on the other hand, is $75 to $175 per year, so it would require a lot more usage in order for me to get value from the service. If you're wondering whether CLEAR might be right for you, here are a couple of additional things to keep in mind. Number one, more than just airports. While most people are familiar with CLEAR at the airports, they actually work with other venues where you need to provide some sort of ID. For example, in Los Angeles, CLEAR is available at LAX and also at the Bank of California Stadium, which is home to the Los Angeles Football Club team. With that in mind, number two, check the availability. Make sure to check the CLEAR program map to see what locations and venues are serviced by the program. The list seems to be growing, but you want to make sure that you can actually use the program, especially if you're paying the large enrollment fee. Number three, consider an American Express Delta card. Since CLEAR is free for Delta SkyMiles members with Diamond Medallion status, you might want to consider an American Express Delta card that can help you get that status quicker. Of course, I wouldn't do it unless you actually fly Delta frequently and are interested in getting Clear, since you can still get a significant discount by enrolling as a general SkyMiles member. But it might be worth getting a credit card to help boost you to the next status tier level. Number 4, understand the data privacy implications. If you have any concerns about your personal data, then you might want to think twice about using Clear. You're providing a lot of personal data in the form of biometrics. While I don't think that Clear is going to willingly sell or release your personal information, it is a risk that you need to weigh, especially given all the data breaches that we've experienced in the past few years. Number 5, consider global entry. Since Clear doesn't affect the security baggage screening process, you may be considering getting the TSA PreCheck program. I know I've mentioned it in other videos, but if you're planning to apply for TSA PreCheck, I would highly suggest checking out Global Entry. Global Entry is only $15 more, but it includes TSA PreCheck. For more information, check our video on Global Entry. Also, if you have a premium travel credit card like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, American Express Platinum, and Capital One Venture Rewards card, you're often eligible for reimbursement of your Global Entry or TSA PreCheck enrollment fees. Keep in mind that Clear is typically not covered under these reimbursement programs. Number 6, check your American Express offers. About a year ago in January 2018, there was an American Express offer for Clear. While there's no guarantee that the offer will appear again, it's worth checking your offers if you have an American Express card. Have you used Clear? If not, are you thinking about getting it? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're interested in applying for one of the American Express Delta cards that I mentioned earlier in the video, we would love it if you used our links. It's an easy way to support the channel without any extra cost to you. If you enjoyed this video or found it useful, please give us a thumbs up and consider sharing our video with others. It really helps us with growing the channel and our community. Until next time, travel safe and travel smart.